Firebird Nation, and welcome back to Friday Night Lights. After a stint on Thursday and Wednesday, we're back to playing live on Friday evening. Tonight we come to you from Creedmoor, North Carolina, the home of the South Granville Vikings, where Southern Nash, the 3-0 Southern Nash Firebirds, will be taking on the 1-2 2A South Granville Vikings. Looking forward to a great game tonight. The fans are definitely turning out. And we'll be getting to kickoff here just shortly. Once again tonight, I'm joined by Nick Lamb doing the commentating this evening. And we're going to be doing our best to give you the play-by-play, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Tonight we are sponsored by the Tar River Network and Southern Nash News and All-Star Sports. All right, while we're waiting to get underway here, Nick's going to read off some player stats for so far this season, both team and player. What you got there for us, Nick?
Well, so far, the rushing attack has been Southern's bread and butter so far. So some of the rushing stats for our quarterback, Matt Foster, has 24 rushing attempts for 284 yards, as long as with 2 rushing touchdowns. And also the second biggest rusher, or the first biggest rusher, the leading rusher for our team, Quentin Cooley, with 31 carries, 384 yards, and 9 rushing touchdowns. Also have Vic, who has 22 carries, 253 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. What the overall yardage on that for the rushing yards for the season so far, Nick, in 3 games?
For the whole team, we have a total of 1,079.
1,079 yards in 3 games. That's pretty impressive. And of course, led by Quentin Cooley with 384. Is that what you said? 384?
Yep,
384 rushing yards.
An average of 12.4 yards a carry.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And of course, that does not include the touchdown run backs, the 99-yard touchdown run back that he had, or any of the other punt or kick returns. So going back to the field as the captains approach the field, tonight we're led by quarterback Matt Foster, senior Dalen Whitley, senior Quentin Cooley, and senior Zach Jones, as they go to the pregame coin toss to see who will kick and who will receive. Looks like South Granville has won the toss. They have won the toss, and they will defer to the second half. So Southern Nash will get the ball first this evening. Get a shot at first blood.
Also, we get a chance to see the rushing game start off fast.
Well, once again, I always mention Foster and bag of tricks. Southern lately has been known to go on that quarterback draw to start off with. That leaves a passing option for Matt. Quentin, they kind of leave him laying to sleep because most teams are tending to key on Quentin early in the game because they know of the threat, the rushing threat that he does have. So we'll see how he handles that. I got to keep Quentin low-key before he finally breaks it loose. Jackson Vick, Dalen Whitley, Zach Jones, they've all done a great job of kind of keeping the pressure off of Quentin so far and kind of open it up for him later in the game. So as the Firebirds come onto the field, definitely not the traditional home entrance of Inner Sandman, but I think there's a certain air around us tonight that everybody knows that the Sandman is definitely here. So some more of those stats there, Nick. So how about South Granville? What's their overall total yardage looking like so far this year?
So far, for rushing, they've only had, as a total, 699 yards rushing so far in the season.
699, wow. Did I see that stat? They had 5 rushing touchdowns, or 5 touchdowns total this year, and Southern has a total of 24. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So we will see with the kickoff where if South Granville has looked at the film, if they're willing to go deep to Isaiah Walker-Warren or Quentin Cooley as they line up deep for the opening kickoff. And as the ref leaves the field, the midfield of play, hands in the air, and we are off. And it's a squib kick up the middle. It's picked up in the middle by number 4, Hunter Thorne. He'll bring it back out, not quite to the 40. So a decent return there as Southern Nash will take over 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. And we are underway. So they're on the short field to this side. And not lining up under the shotgun where they've started at for the past 3 games. So immediately Matt does take it back up the middle, but he's brought down. Gain of maybe 1, possibly 2 on the play, depending on the spot. So they're going to give him a couple of yards, and immediately one of the South Granville players is down. But he seems to be getting up. Maybe a little problem with his arm or his shoulder there. They're taking him off the field. So second play from scrimmage, 2nd and 9. Matt Foster drops back to pass. He hits Quentin out in the flat. It is off his fingertips and incomplete. That will bring up a 2nd down and 8, or excuse me, 3rd down and 8.
Foster was kind of rushed there, leading to the little bit of a high pass to Quentin Cooley.
So this will lead us, I guess, to kind of introduce what our awards are going to be for tonight. We've been kind of creative so far this year, but the first award we're going to give is the Brian Foster Motivational Speech Turnaround Play of the Game. Basically, we're looking for who kind of starts out a little flat, but seems to get energized, maybe the conversation with the coach, and seems to turn things around. As Quentin Cooley moves around the end, he's still up. He's still on his feet. He breaks a tackle. He's breaking away.
Gone.
He is going all the way to the house. The beast is unleashed early tonight as he goes 60 yards for a touchdown. And the first score of the evening, no flags on the play, so that'll bring your score to Southern Nash 6, South Granville 0. So Evan Barnes into attempt the PAT. which there was a few struggles in that first game, but since then he has been dead on the money. Him and Matthew Horgan seem to have worked out the kinks. And we are down. The ball's up and away. And it is through, and it's good. So Southern takes the early lead with 11 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's Southern Nash 7, South Granville 0.
What a start with the big run from Quentin Cooley. Starting off the game with his 10th rushing touchdown so far this season.
Yeah, that's kind of the danger, too, in deferring. If against Southern Nash, if you win the toss, you better go ahead and get the ball and try to do something early. Bunn had a pretty good strategy last week. They ran a lot of running game. They ran the clock down. Got a little dull, a little boring, but you know they've held in longer than anybody else, and they actually held Southern to their lowest score so far this year. Even though they still scored 49 points. So Evan Barnes on for the first kickoff of the inning from Southern Nash. And he's going for the deep kick to start with. But there are going to be flags. I believe Southern Nash jumped a little early, and they're going to re-kick that one. And that is the call, offside by the Firebirds. Tell you, there's been a lot of offside penalties so far this year. So, and Isaiah Walker-Warren, DC, he got a little bit of a jump right there. Hope there was no big bugs flying around him that made him want to jump early. And we apologize for some of the maybe some things that got caught on microphone last week from DC. The kick is back deep again, and this kick is even deeper, back to the end zone, almost over his head. He feels it at the line. He's going to have a return. Sort of breaks the tackle up the middle, but he stops short. Going to be down at the 25-yard line, so South Granville Vikings will take over 1st and 10 from their own 25. Not a bad return. So South Granville in their first offensive set, you know, once again, the pass plays have seemed to be more effective as far as yard gaining for Southern Nash's opponents. But we'll see which route they go, if they want to go to try to score, if they want to try to drag this game out and keep it close. They're going to hand it off at the middle, and he's stopped. Gain of maybe a couple on the play. About 3 yards there, so you're going to call that one 2nd down and 7. Who's that carrying the ball, Nick?
I couldn't really see the number on that.
All right, so we got a man in motion. The ball's down on the ground, but it's picked back up by the quarterback. He takes a dive forward, picks up a nice gain considering it was a broken play. It's going to bring up a – oh, he's going to get a marking for a first down, so it's going to be 1st down at 10 as he just does get to the first down marker.
Kingwon Bobbitt, the quarterback for South Granville tonight.
So that was kind of a nice recovery. He did drop the ball. It did hit the ground. He had the field sense to go ahead and make a run for it and was able to get the first down. Another handoff up the middle. He's going to be hooked by the big man, number 78, Alan Langley. Going to gain another gain of about 3 there. Going to bring up 2nd and 7. So far it looks like they have definitely watched the Bunn film. They're going to do just kind of running up the middle, keep things a little steady pace, a little slow, try to keep it slow. Of course, with Quentin running them 60 yards from scrimmage, that's makes it a little difficult to keep it slow. So with 2nd and 7, another handoff at the middle of the ball it's quick pitch, and he's knocked out of bounds. Looks like he is going to have enough for another first down there.
Quick toss to Bison McCall there.
So that will be another first down by the Vikings. as they are approaching midfield. So it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. And in motion again. Drop back to pass. He's still up, and he's sacked. Sacked by number 44, Terrence Raspberry. So that was a much cleaner sack than the one that Terrence had last week. I don't think he felt the impact as
that one last week.
Yeah.
That was Terrence Raspberry's 4th sack on the year as well.
Yeah, he was the recipient of the Oldham Motors Big Truck Hit of the Game award, and lucky for him tonight, he did all the dishing out, no taking on that one. So a quick pitch around on a sweep, and he's going to be tripped up by number 7, Isaiah Walker-Warren. So another short loss is going to bring up 3rd and long. It'll be 3rd and 16. Ball back just inside the 40-yard line of South Granville.
Not a good situation for South Granville on their first drive of the night.
Yeah, they were moving the ball really well, kind of pounding up the middle, which is surprising with the size of the Southern Nash line. See if they go back to that. They won't. They're going to drop back to pass. Got receivers downfield. It's caught in the middle of the field, and he's going to be stopped pretty much at about the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to bring up 4th and 10. So waiting to see here if they decide to go for it on 4th and 10. So it's 4th and 10 from their own 46-yard line. And it looks like South Granville will elect a punt, which is probably the right thing to do. Quentin Cooley back deep for the Firebirds. A little personnel issue there for South Granville as they're getting all their players on the field. And that's going to cause a delay of game against South Granville. That'll move the ball back 5 more yards. So it'll be 4th and 15 from their own 41-yard line. So for the first punt of the evening, that's bobbled. He does get the punt away. Nice punt. Quentin Cooley lets it roll by, and it backs the Firebirds up pretty deep. That was a great punt by South Granville. So Southern is going to be starting inside their own 10-yard line. Looks like it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Southern Nash 9. That was pretty strong, a 62-yard punt. That was kid's got a good leg.
Kicker Jackson Irwin for South Granville.
So Southern Nash with a full field to work with, starts deep in their own territory. And it's handed off to Jackson Vick, who breaks out. Nice run. He will have enough for a first down. Looks like going to be a gain of about 15 or so on the play. And that's going to move the ball just shy of the 25-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the 24 of Southern Nash. Jackson Vick is once again a single set back. Quentin sweeps around the end. He's picking it up. Quentin Cooley, he's still in the middle. He's still up. He's brought down. He's going to have a gain of about 8 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 2. So Quentin is actually starting off very strong tonight. Once again, he's been kind of restricted in the early games of the year because I guess everybody with the game films and knowing his reputation had keyed on him. But I think everybody's learning now that you have to watch out for the other threats, as Jackson Vick's already rolled off a big run tonight to get us out of deep territory. Quentin goes in motion again. It's handed off up the middle. The ball is out. It's picked up. It's recovered by the center, Luke Watson. No, I'm sorry. Recovered by Zolly Alford. Number 58, Zolly Alford on the recovery. That really saved Southern, and actually a nice gain and enough for a first down.
Pretty much a disaster avoided there for Southern.
So Jackson Vick again on the sweep. He cuts back up the middle. He's going to have a gain of about 5, maybe 6 on the play. Looks like that's going to bring up second. Second and about 5. So far tonight, Foster has chosen to put the air attack on hold and start with the run game, which is traditional Southern Nash football.
And also it kind of helps when you establish run early. It kind of sets up for the passing game later on.
Exactly. And there's a quick pitch to Jackson Vick. He's going to cut back up the middle. He's still on his feet as he spins and turns. He's going to pick up first down and plus yardage. Looks like the whole Viking team tackled Jackson.
But I say he had about 8 people tied to him.
So he's going to move the ball well into South Granville territory as Southern Nash moves to change. 1st and 10 from the South Granville 40 as they're moving up the field. So far a pretty impressive drive. Starting inside the 10 at their 9-yard line, just kind of moving up the field. Typical Southern Nash ground and pound football. Another pitch to the middle, this time to Quentin. He's going to be stopped short. He's actually going to be, they're going to give him forward motion. He's going to pick up about 2. But the big hit him, the big guy in the middle, carried him back to the line of scrimmage.
We have another injured player from South Granville, looks like.
And I believe that he was in on the tackle, and he's the one that hit Quentin midsection, and he took the run. Well, now we have a second player down.
2 down. Of Jaden Crabtree. Looks like he's jogging off.
Yeah, I believe he got the wind knocked out of him. I believe he was the lead guy on that tackle with Quentin running up the middle. So that kind of should tell you there if you see the 2-0 coming.
Oh, I was mistaken. That was Chris Garrett, the one who was limping off first. And now it looks like Ian Lispy, the one walking off right now, number 62. So good to see both of them leaving on their own power. Like you said, they probably both guys got the wind knocked out of them. That's
what it looked to be. It's real hot and muggy tonight. There's going to be some cramps tonight. I hope all the kids ate their bananas, as Mr. Arthur Perry used to preach, eating the bananas to keep those cramps away. As Quentin Cooley breaks out, he's going to sweep around the end. He's not going to be caught as he takes it in for his second score of the night. No flags on the play. That breakaway speed, I mean, it's strong up the middle. If his legs are chopping, it's hard to bring him down. But when he breaks away, he'll pull away from you in a hurry. And there's pretty much no catching him once he turns that corner.
That was good for 38 yards. Like you said, once he gets going and has that space, the speed and the power he has, you're not going to bring him down.
So Evan back on for the PAT. Oh, low snap, but it is put down. Nice recovery by Matthew Horgan that kicks up, and it's good. As Southern Nash extends their lead to 14 to South Granville 0 with 3 minutes and 1 second left in the first quarter. So Quentin has been racking up his yardage early, well over 100 yards just on 2 carries alone, without calculating in some of the other carries that he has had. So he is definitely putting on a show tonight. But then, Jackson Vick has definitely put on some yardage too. He's helped the cause, kind of drawn the attention. That's been working all year. Last year with Zonovan and Quentin, it was hard to tell. And I think Jackson has helped establish that now. So another deep kick by Evan is actually into the end zone. He's got a great foot. So South Granville's going to let it go into the end zone for touchback. They will take over at their own 20-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 20. Well, it'd be nice to see if they try something a little different on this offensive set. They started out with that up the middle, and it seemed to work, and they moved the ball. They had a couple of miscues that they recovered nicely and were able to capitalize on, but they did move the ball pretty decent.
They were moving it pretty good. I guess whenever they had that sack by Raspberry, that kind of just killed the momentum on that drive.
Yeah, that kind of shut things down. So it's going to hand off in a sweep around this way. He's being chased and pursued. Isaiah Walker-Warren is going to bring him down. Probably looks like he's going to be called for the face mask / horse collar tackle as he's brought down hard. That should be a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Bryce McCall on that carry.
So DC was called for the horse collar tackle. As the ball will. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty. So South Granville will move the chains on the penalty against Isaiah Walker-Warren to be 1st and 10 from their own 40. So the Vikings back up under center, and they're going to hand it back up off the middle again. This time he breaks free, but he is tripped up by Isaiah Walker-Warren.
That was Michael Wiggerson on that carry.
It's going to be a gain of about 9, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
So Walker-Warren on that tackle, that was possibly a touchdown saving tackle.
Yeah, that kid got through the line pretty quick. So this is kind of where they were a while ago. They had made it to midfield, moved the ball pretty well.
Then the sack, and that kind of.
So let's see how the defense reacts here, or if they change their offensive strategy. So it's another handoff up the middle, and that's actually going to be for a loss. Don't know if forward momentum is going to get him to the first down, and it will. He's going to get 2 yards on the play with forward momentum. That'll move the chains. Another 1st and 10 as South Granville moves into Firebird territory for the first time tonight and take over 1st and 10 from the Southern Nash 49-yard line. So I mentioned one award tonight going to be the Brian Foster Motivational Speech Turnaround Play of the Game. We're also got a special award tonight. I'm going to hold on to that one until later. I'll tell you about that one later. Sweep around the end for South Granville. He's going to be tripped up. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play. Looks like it's going to be stopped pretty much at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, they're going to give him a yard, so that'll bring up 2nd down and 9. So South Granville back under center. The quarterback's going to hold on to this one. He's going to try to sweep around the end, but he's going to be caught by Quentin Cooley. It's like Jason Bland, Dalen Whitley, and Devontae Edmondson all in on that tackle. That was no can do on that. That's going to be, they're going to give him back to the original line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 3rd and 10. So a loss of 1 on that play.
Most likely the last play of this first quarter as well.
Yeah, the clock ticks down. They're not going to have to move very far, though, to change sides. So as they're changing quarters, I'm going to take this time, as I always do, to announce some of our sponsors for the year. Once again, Bottoms Insurance was one of our early sponsors. Oldham Motors from last week sponsoring the Bun game. Wilson Mold and Machine coming up later in the season. Next week, we're looking forward to Bojangles sponsoring the J.H. Rose games and as we return to Firebirds Stadium in Stanhope. Barton College, one of our later sponsors in the year, as they are kicking off their inaugural football season this year. Southern Bank is going to be sponsoring later in the season, as well as Team Malters Realty. Also this time, I'd like to announce that, the Firebird Kickoff Classic is coming up. And if you have not bought your ticket, it's $100 a ticket. They're only going to sell, I think it's 275 tickets. The grand prize is $10,000. It is a reverse raffle. You can see any of your Booster Club members, or you can actually contact the Southern Nash News if you'd like to purchase a ticket. Everybody will get together that night, have a nice meal. It is going to be cooked. It'll be a pig cooking meal. Nice time to spend together with Firebird family. And also, tonight's sponsor is the Southern Nash News, and we'd like to announce that Southern Nash has been awarded a special discount for Panic Point. Sweep around the end from Granville. Still on his feet. That's a nice run. Looks like he is going to move the ball enough to move the chains, get a first down as they move deeper into Southern Nash territory. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Vikings on the Southern Nash 37-yard line. So as I was mentioning before the play broke out, Panic Point is offering a online ticket purchase discount of 15%. If you go online and purchase your ticket, you can put in the code word Nash News, and you will get 15% off their online ticket price. Now, if you've never been to Panic Point, it's pretty awesome. Be prepared to be scared. It's got a lot of different scare features to go through, and I'll get into some of those later in the night as the game moves on. But they are in their 9th season, and it is very good, worth the money. So the ball's down. Looks like Southern may have recovered on that.
Like a miscue on the handoff.
So they're going to say that the Vikings did recover and hold on to the ball. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 as the fumble was there at the line of scrimmage. Oh, first they're going to drop back the pass, but he's going to be stopped as he is sacked. The initial contact was Jason Bland, number 14. In for the assists were number 44, Terrence Raspberry. Who else was in on that, Nick? I missed the other one.
I think it was number 50, Jordan Sam.
So there you go, moving the ball well. They did drop back for the pass last time, and it was the sack. They tried again this time, a big sack. So Southern is able to kind of thwart the momentum there, move them all the way back to the Southern Nash 45-yard line. Going to bring up 3rd and 18. So we'll see how South Granville responds to that. As they go back to the run up the middle. The quarterback keeper, he is not going to quite get back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 4th down and 13. So inside Southern Nash territory at the 40-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 13. I think there's some discussion here. It looks like they are going to go for it on 4th and 13. So a big play here. And South Granville elects to take their first time out of the game. They're going to talk about this. This is, like I said, this is a big play. 4th and 13.
Probably so far like the biggest decision of the night.
Absolutely is for South Granville. You know, they've been moving the ball real well. Southern's turned on that defensive pressure when they needed to with those sacks. So here during the timeout, I did fail to mention one of our sponsors. Our first sponsor of the year was Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue. And during that game, if those of you that were paying attention or listened, maybe watched the playback, you know that I was talking a whole lot that night about being hungry and wanting Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue, and particularly the Hush Puppies.
Oh, the Hush Puppies.
Yeah, so I'm understanding that the players have kind of turned that into a little something in the locker room, and they're talking about me and my Hush Puppies. So tonight, the second award of the night is the Hush Puppy Award. And that's going to be given by me personally. And I'll tell you the criteria for the Hush Puppy Award here a little bit later. Oh, he drops back to pass again. This pass is away, and it is intercepted by Isaiah Walker-Warren. He's still on his feet. He's cutting back across field. He's
running.
Got a lot of room to run. 2 men to beat. Beats one. He cuts back.
He's still going. That's 6
He is
points.
returning. It's a pick 6 on the 4th and 13 play. Isaiah Walker-Warren with the interception. There is a flag on the play. But we'll wait to see if that was prior to the interception.
If it stands, that will be interception with about a 60-yard return. Sorry, a 70-yard return.
I was going to say, from the point of interception, that was awfully close to an 80-yard return. So there was an illegal block in the back after the interception. That penalty will be declined, and that will be a touchdown for Southern Nash as they move the score 20-0, and they will attempt their 3rd PAT of the night. So incredible defense. Once again, Isaiah Walker-Warren did take a year away from Southern Nash. Came back this year for his senior year, and based on plays like that, Coach Foster has to be excited. And thank goodness that what he saw was the football and not any big bugs.
That interception also was Walker-Warren's 3rd of the year. And
third
he turned it all the way back.
So Horgan in for the hold. Good snap this time. It's down, up, and through. So with 8 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the first half, Southern Nash extends its lead to 21, South Granville Vikings 0.
And so far, it just seems kind of like South Granville, they get about to midfield, and then everything kind of just falls apart.
Yeah, they're kind of falling victim to the big play, the big momentum breaker. They're actually playing really well. South Granville is.
They really are.
They're moving the ball well. They're reading our defense pretty good. They're getting through it. But, you know, you've had the couple of big sacks. Then, of course, obviously the big interception for the pick 6. So it actually is really good for Southern to get these tests, early in the year. So Eben is on for his 3rd kick of the night. There seems to be some discussion here with the South Granville coaches and the officials. Not really sure what's going on here. head coach Mike Hobgood of the South Granville Vikings. Doesn't seem to be real happy about something. Nonetheless, the discussion's over and the play is getting ready to resume as Evan Barnes once again kicks the shot down the middle instead of the high kick. It is fielded. It's going to be returned this time. Southern Nash. Oh, he drops back. He drops back, losing yardage, trying to make something out of nothing. He's going to get a little bit of it back. Going to be driven out of bounds at about the 28-yard line of South Granville. So South Granville Vikings will take over 1st and 10 from their own 28.
Kind of took a gamble there. If we're going to run him back, trying to find a different way to break
I'm
through.
wrong. That's their 23. There are no 10-yard markers on this side of the field, so trying to. So 1st and 10 for the Vikings. As they go back to the up the middle play, going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Gain of maybe a yard on the play.
I think the ball came out.
The ball came out. It did.
Southern recovers.
So fumble on the play, recovered by Xavier Burgess.
I'm not sure who had got in there to get it out.
Xavier Burgess is one that came out of the pile holding the football. I know Isaiah Walker-Warren was celebrating off to the side. So with our view blocked from this side, obviously there was a fumble, and Southern will take over 1st and 10 from the South Granville. Looks like their 24-yard line. So obviously the Southern's best starting position of the evening. So South Granville will burn their 2nd time out of the half.
Like we've mentioned, just another momentum stopper on the 3rd drive so far for South Granville. Kind of just another mistake with the turnover.
So we're down to 8 minutes and 23 seconds left in the first half with the score Southern Nash 21, South Granville 0. So after the big fumble and recovery by the Firebirds, they are deep in the South Granville territory and threatening obviously to score again. You know, we've yet to attempt to pass this evening. Foster's going to keep that one, roll around the end. He tries to step out of a tackle. He's going to be tripped up. He's still up, but he's going to be thrown for, we'll call it a loss of 1 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and, they're going to give him forward motion. Nice. So he's going to get a gain of about 2 on the play. He's going to bring up 2nd and 8.
As you mentioned about passes, we have only attempted 1, and that was when Foster had got rushed, so he threw it kind of towards Cooley a little high and out of bounds.
Yeah, you're right. That is correct. So 1 pass attempt tonight.
But most of it has been being carried by our strong rushing game this so far tonight.
So another handoff up the middle to Quentin Cooley as he spins free. He's still up, still on his feet. And the entire Viking team and defense is going to jump in and bring him down after a gain of about maybe 10, 12 on the play. It's going to be enough for a 1st down. So it'd be 1st and goal for the Firebirds, as they are well into the red zone now and threatening to score yet again with, as the clock ticks down towards 7 minutes left in the first half. So handoff to Dalen Whitley. He's going to be stopped in the backfield. It's like a loss of maybe 1 or 2 on the play. So you can hear the South Granville fans in the background celebrating the stop there, but we'll see. As Matt Foster steps back up under center. And he's going to tuck and keep this one again. Oh, he's going to pitch back to Quentin. Quentin's going to gain maybe 3 or 4 on the play. Possibly get back to the original line of scrimmage, bring up 3rd and goal. Looks like it's going to be at about the 4-yard line.
If I'm not mistaken, this is Southern's first 3rd down all game.
So with a 3-back set, pitch out to Quentin. As he turns the end, he's going to cut back in the middle. And it looks like he's going to run it into the... Hey, he's going to run into the end zone. No signal yet by the officials. That's going to be a touchdown for Southern Nash. And I apologize for some of the delayed calls. We're in a very small space with a lot of cameras. I'm trying to peek around the sides. The kick is up.
It's blocked.
And it is blocked this time. And South Granville, a bright spot for South Granville as they're able to get through and block a kick. So that holds Southern to only 27 points. So with 5 minutes and 41 seconds left in the first half, Southern Nash leads South Granville Vikings by the score of 27-0.
Quentin Cooley already having an amazing first half, already with 3 touchdowns. Somebody might have hyped him up.
Well, I tell you, I'll go ahead and let some more of my secret out of the bag for the Cornbread Award. I did happen to mention to Quentin that if there was a certain margin of victory, that there could possibly be some end-of-game rewards on the field. And if it's called the Cornbread Award, I guess you can just about figure what it is. We'll wait. Don't want to jinx anything or say anything out of turn, so we'll wait and see what happens. So we get a high kick from Evan Barnes. It's going to be fielded and did not call for the fair catch and paid the price. A couple of hard hits there.
The hard hit.
But credit to number 9, he did hold on to the ball. And South Granville will take over 1st and 10 from their what looks to be their own 32-yard line. So South Granville does have a wide out at this side.
Yeah, it's not cut. Oh, it's covered now.
So they're going to run it back up the middle. A nice gain on the play. Breaks a couple of tackles. Does get tripped up. It's going to be a gain of about 7, maybe 8 on the play. They're going to give him. Looks like they're going to give him 6. So 2nd down and 4. From the South Granville 39. So their interior offensive line is they've been able to open some holes for them to get some decent yardage up that middle. Considering the big man they're up against, not going to get much there, maybe a yard or 2. But considering Alan Langley standing in the middle of that line at a very light 352 pounds and 6'4".
A hard man to block and push and open up some holes for or from.
He's a hard man to see around. So the front line moves into position. Snap is away. The quarterback is going to keep it this time, but he's going to be stopped short. Tackled by Terrence Raspberry, number 44. As Hunter Thorne comes flying in for the make sure assist.
Get to a 4th and 1.
So they're going to give him forward momentum and a first down. Wow. Ooh. Wow. So one good thing about South Granville is they have a great concession stand, and obviously in their concession stand they're serving a little home cooking as the fans let off a chalk color bomb in front of us.
Took me by surprise a little bit.
So that's going to be a penalty against South Granville. Going to move them back. It's going to be 1st and 15. As they are threatening to move in, as they were threatening to move into Southern Nash territory. They're going to move the ball back to the 37-yard line. So 1st and 15 from their own 37. Gonna do a quick pitch out. That's read very nicely by Hunter Thorne. Brought down for a loss. It's great also to have Hunter Thorne back. Hunter suffered a season-ending injury last year in one of our early non-conference games and had to sit out the entire season. But it is very nice to have the captain back and starting on defense for us this year as he's there for a great tackle.
He had wrapped up Jimmy Hansen and made sure he wasn't going anywhere.
So sort of a reverse coming around this way. It's going to be a nice run for him. Drops his head and gives a nice hit, but there again, he looks like he paid the price for surrendering his body for the hit as he steps off the field and drops to his knees. He's going to be close to a first down as he's stopped right on the 50-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and about 2. Southern Nash is very hard-hitting. I know a lot of teams that have played us in the past have chosen to take us off their schedules because of the physicality with which Southern Nash plays. So that's going to be a burst up the middle. It's definitely going to be enough for first down and into Southern Nash territory. So the quick snap pays off. Caught the defense a little asleep, so they moved the ball down into Southern Nash territory to the 45-yard line where the Vikings will take over. Will move the ball 1st and 10. And there again, Nick, this is where South Granville ran into, once again, moving the ball well, moving into Southern Nash territory, and then the defense just kind of steps it up, makes the big play. Let's see if the defense can respond yet again. So the quarterback's going to keep it this time. Devontae Edmondson brings him down. It's going to bring up 2nd and about 8 after the gain of 2.
Just under 50 seconds left to be played in the first half as well.
So I know South Granville would like to score, but I don't know if they're going to be willing to air it out after what happened on their last pass attempt with the Isaiah Walker-Warren. And they do try to air it out. Going to drop back. He's rushed.
Hit as he thrown.
He gets it away. It's broken up. Number 6, Jalen McAllister. Nice pass defense, nice pass rush. No flags on the play.
See, number 6, Jalen McCassin almost had that pick as well.
Southern's pass defense has just improved dramatically. Very happy once again with players like Hunter Thorne and Isaiah Walker-Warren coming back, and you got Isaiah Bland stepping up, Jason Bland stepping up, Quentin Cooley playing some defense now. You got Chase and Royal in that backfield. They've really done a great job in containing the passes. They attempt to pass again. They're going to get to the sideline. It's called. It's complete. It's going to be pushed out of bounds. Looks like it will be enough for a first down for South Granville as they move the chains yet again. So it'll be 1st and 10.
21.8 seconds left to go.
From the Southern Nash. It's like about the 33-yard line. With just that 22 seconds left to go in the half. They're going to pretty much have to resort to the pass unless they can sneak a run in there and break it up the middle.
If I'm not mistaken, they also do have one more timeout.
And he is going to drop back to pass again. Got a block in the back. And he's going to be brought out of bounds.
And that's going to be flight at the late
down. Did the flag come in for that last?
I think so. I think whenever Xavier Burge pushed him out, they threw the flag on that as well.
So we've got 2 flags on the play. It looks like it's going to be a block in the back at first.
I think they're discussing to see if was he out of bounds whenever he was pushed.
I didn't see a flag come in. Did you see a flag fly in, Nick?
I had saw a flag after the play was over coming from the right side.
Yeah, the fence, and there's a sponsor banner for South Granville kind of right there on the fence, so it's hard to see if there's one there or not.
I think they did call one because the penalties have offset it.
So it looks like they're going to move the ball back.
Maybe they.
This is going to be a 10-yard penalty for the illegal block.
Maybe they took away the late hit, or where they're trying to argue as the late hit out of bounds.
Holding still a 10-yard penalty.
Referee's having a discussion here as to how many yards to assess on the penalty, and you can hear some of the South Granville coaches here in the booth letting them know the correct amount of yardage.
And no.
So now they're going to mark off the late hit penalty. So the block in the back was from the point of the foul. They're going to move the ball back as the late hit was called against Southern Nash. So after all the melee, it's going to be 1st and 10. The
right
automatic
back where we
first
started.
But it looks like it's going to be 1st and about 15 because of the block in the back. Rolls out the pass. As the receiver slips and falls, and the pass is going to fall to the ground incomplete. As we approach 9 seconds remaining in the half, it'll bring up 2nd down and about 15, 16 yards.
As we've seen, South Granville not afraid to pass this late in the second half. Kind of won't be surprised that they kind of try to chuck one deep, try to put some points up.
Yeah, with 9 seconds left, that's pretty much all they're going to have a chance to do here. So we'll see how well Southern defends this. They're back in the shotgun. He does have an option with him. He is going to go for the pass, and he is going to be sacked. Terrence Raspberry with the huge sack as the clock winds down and ends the first half. Huge sack by Terrence Raspberry as we go to half as Southern Nash Firebirds lead the South Granville Vikings by a score of 27-0. We'll be back shortly. as we're going to have footage, I believe, of the South Granville Marching Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the South Granville High School Marching Vikings under the direction of Brad Maston, sponsored by El Rio, Creedmoor Forest Products, Dickerson Fencing and Landscaping, and Serpro Painters. Your drum majors are Madeline Cookson, Carolyn Ferguson, and Grace Wallace. Captains, Kayla Wilkinson, Garrett Pantiera, and Josh Rich. The Marching Vikings will be performing their halftime show, The Pale Blue Dot. Drum major, is your band ready?
All right, so welcome back as we're getting ready to get the second half underway. I just want to kind of recap some of the sponsors and some of the deals we got going on. Just to run through the sponsor list for this season. Once again, we're very thankful for all the sponsors that have allowed us to bring you this live stream throughout the season and for the remainder of the season. Once again, I've explained earlier, it gives a lot of opportunity for these young men that are playing football to be seen not only by their family and friends that could not be here, but also by college coaches, college recruiters. So the opportunities here are pretty nominal for these young men. So we appreciate our sponsors and just kind of run down the list. You've got Bottoms Insurance of Rocky Mount, Oldham Motors and Pilot, Wilson Mold and Machine, which is an upcoming sponsor, as well as Bojangles next week, Barton College, Southern Bank, and Team Walters Realty. And also, obviously, our first sponsor of the year was Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue. And those of you that have been following the telecast tonight know that one of our awards tonight is the Hush Puppy Award. The guys, some of the team members have been giving me I'm hearing that they're giving a little hard time about me and my craving for hush puppies. So I've kind of made a side deal with the guys that a certain margin of victory, which I won't give away what that is. But if they come back with a certain margin of victory, that I'll be waiting for them at halftime with maybe a little surprise. So hopefully we'll be able to bring you that at the end of the game. Our other award tonight is going to be the Brian Foster motivational speech turnaround of the game. So far, I think probably one of the leading candidates for that, Nick, is probably going to be that middle defensive line. The run game has been pretty effective run up the middle. They've been opening up some holes. So I'm sure that's one thing that's been discussed, as well as some of those middle linebackers and closing some of those gaps when they do get through. So we'll see how the defense responds to that. I'd love to be able to give that award out to that entire middle defense. Defensive line, that would be pretty good to be able to do that.
I would have to agree with you on that.
So as we're watching warm-ups, I tell you, I'm sure everybody can hear the Rolling Stones in the background with "Start Me Up." That being an old guy like myself, that one always kind of gets me fired up. For those of you that remember when MTV used to be actual MTV Music TV, that was how they started their whole thing way back in the day, as well as WRDU "Start Me Up." So we'll see how Southern Nash responds to "Start Me Up."
Now some Metallica playing over.
Oh well, I guess they just don't know. Don't give the Sandman a dose of his own. So looks like they're having a little fun with it over there. And of course, you can always see Isaiah Walker-Warren kind of standing out above everybody, having a little fun. Oh yeah, the Sandman is definitely cranking for the Firebirds. As you can see, a little movement there. Even Big Luke Watson, who not known for his rhythmic movement. Now he can shoot a gun, he can shoot a compound bow. He's the man. A dance floor, I don't know, man. We might have to figure out some type of award and make him get some honorable mention. Now, if he starts dancing out there to Sandman, that's pretty impressive for Luke. So as we wind down the final seconds of the halftime break, we'll be starting the second half here shortly as Southern Nash enjoys a 27-point lead over the South Granville Vikings. So far it's been the running game for the Firebirds, kind of traditional Firebird football. I guess the big thing for me to note for the first half is the defensive secondary play and some of the pass plays they've been able to break up. Obviously, the big interception return for the touchdown by Isaiah Walker-Warren. That in itself obviously impressive. So after deferring in the first half, South Granville will get the ball to start the second half. It's a squib kick up the middle. It's fielded clean. He's up on his feet. He's running. He's broken some tackles. He's still up, breaking more tackles. And he actually crosses midfield into Southern Nash territory.
There's a
flag comes in late.
It's thrown.
Looks like South Granville made some contact with our kicker down the field. If that is the case, that's absolutely
a back-breaking penalty.
Well, it's just not really smart. I mean, it's the kicker. Shows a little immaturity, a little frustration there, and it's going to cost them big after that fantastic return to have that negated. I don't know. They might need Brian Foster to come across and give a motivational speech to that young man that hit the kicker. Goodness gracious.
You know, also South Granville was looking for a big start like that coming from the first half, where first half the bird had been the word and the Southern Nash is dominating the whole time.
They may have broken. We'll see how they respond to that. They may have broken their own back. So let's see how this middle defense kind of sets up here and how they can stop that run up the middle. It's been kind of the payday for them. They owed a quick pitch. It's fumbled, but it's going to roll out of bounds. South Granville will maintain possession. The roll of the fumble is actually going to give them about a half a yard. We'll still call it 2nd and 10. It did roll out of bounds harmlessly. So as we see Devontae Edmondson, Alan Langley, Dalen Whitley, and Terrence Raspberry, that front line. Terrence Raspberry is definitely the highlight of that with the sacks. But as Devontae Edmondson and Luke Coble bust through the line for the big tackles for the loss there. Haven't called Luke's number a lot tonight. He's had some assists, some tackles there. Number 15, Luke Coble. So South Granville lines up back under center. It's going to be a handoff. If the ball's fumbled, they do fall on it and recover. Not really sure about that starting stance for that the tailback there for South Granville. It looks like he was almost about to go down and do a push-up, and it's like he was frozen and couldn't get up. The quarterback turned to look for him, and he wasn't there. He went with another option, and that was almost extremely costly.
South Granville looking to punt.
They do get the punt away, but that was definitely not as good as their first punt of the night. As it's goes out of bounds. It's not going to be very much of a kick, maybe a 30-yard kick or so. Goes out of bounds. So Southern Nash will take over 1st and 10. Looks like from their own 39-yard line, 38-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Firebirds with just over 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. I tell you, I think the big play of that opening drive for South Granville was the penalty on the kick. I mean, running into the kicker on a kickoff. My goodness. I know that the play was busting downfield and there was a lot of action, but that was just kind of not smart. As Quentin Cooley takes, a halfback pass for Quentin Cooley. Wide open receiver. It's just overthrown.
Overthrown just a tad bit.
As Matt Foster was going deep. So I missed this. Was that the Wildcat setup?
I think it was, yeah.
I was busy running my mouth, kind of hyping up on that kid that hit the kicker. So there we go. I guess Coach Foster decided to save the bag of tricks till the second half.
And remember, we did see that type of play in the first game we had, and it was.
Oh yeah, he definitely went to the Wildcat early. We hadn't seen that. You're right. We haven't seen that in a couple of games. I tell you, that was a heck of a throw by Quentin Cooley.
Certainly was.
So Southern's going to burn their first timeout of the second half. I guess they're going to have a little talk here to see how they want to play this one out. It'll be 2nd and 10 when they come back to play for the Firebirds. The ball's on Southern Nash's 38. So far every possession from Southern Nash has resulted in a touchdown. Also that one defensive touchdown on the interception and return pick 6 for Isaiah Walker-Warren, which brought the Southern Nash score to 27. So obviously that offensive momentum, we want to keep going here. But this is generally the time in the game, Nick, where Foster will start trying a few different things traditionally. I think he surprised a lot of people earlier in the season where he kind of went to the alternate playbook early in the game. Looks like maybe we can see a little bit of that now starting in the second half.
Most certainly. You already saw it with that the Wildcat trick play. They tried to hit him deep with.
So a 2-back set here. Handoff's going to be, Foster's going to keep it. He's still on his feet. He's going to break around the end. A flag comes in late behind the play. Foster does get enough for the first down on a nice run, about an 11-yard gain there for Matt Foster. It is enough for a first down. We'll wait and see what the penalty here is. It looks along the line of a hold.
Yeah, I think it's going to come back.
So it will be against the Firebirds. Waiting to see what the actual call is. It was a hold, so it'll be from the spot of the foul. So that's going to bring up a replay of second down. It's like it's going to be 2nd and about 15 for the Firebirds. The Birds have managed to stay fairly penalty-free this game, not as many as in the earlier games. As Jackson Vick turns the end, he's hung up. He's breaking some tackles. He's still on his feet. Finally brought down just up past the 45-yard line. We'll call it the 46. It looks like that's where we're going to spot it. So that is going to bring up 3rd down and about 3.
Looks that way.
On a nice run by Jackson. Looks like that's going to be about a 12-yard gain for Jackson Vick.
And now also, if the Firebirds do not convert, Coach Foster is not afraid to go for it on 4th down. He won't need to because Cooley is still going.
With Quentin still on his feet, he's still up. Never actually goes down. Finally just kind of gets twisted out of bounds. Obviously enough there for the first down and another strong offensive run for Quentin.
Saying he didn't need to. Quentin Cooley got it for him.
So Southern will move into South Granville territory for the first time in the second half. It'll be 1st and 10 from the South Granville 40. Jackson Vick in motion comes by. Ball's going to be handed off. Looks like that was handed off to Zach Jones. Looks like he's going to get a couple of yards on that. They're actually going to give him, looks like about 5 yards on that. Maybe 4. We'll call it 4. Call it 2nd and 6. So, going to be another timeout called there. Let's see. They haven't signaled yet. Who called it now? Looks like going to be a timeout, South Granville. So to kind of run through some of the deals, I mentioned some of the sponsors as the second half was starting, but one deal we do want you to know about, Panic Point, which is located in Youngsville, North Carolina, which is this time of the year it opens up. Got a lot of haunted special features. They have a haunted trail, dark walk, a haunted trail walk. They have the killers in the corn mazes, a lot of games, food. If you go online, you can purchase your tickets online, and if you'll use the code word Nash News, you can get a 15% off their online pricing for their tickets. It's really fun, really scary. It's kind of creepy. So if there's looking for something to do with your family this Halloween season, or even fall season, especially if you have a family member maybe it's a little timid that you like to get a good laugh out of, Panic Point is the place to do it. I myself have been through it, and I've worked in it. I prefer to work in it because when you go through it, it is a little scary. So I would invite you to go online to Panic Point's website and put in the code word Nash News. So Quentin Cooley brings the ball around the end. He drops his head, a big hard hit. He's still on his feet. He's going to run out of bounds once again.
Dragging a defender out of bounds with him as well.
Yeah, that's going to be enough for another first down for the Firebirds. As they move deeper into South Granville territory, looks like it's going to be 1st and 10 from about the 36-yard line of South Granville. But yeah, please go into Panic Point and take advantage of that discount. Like I said, enter code word Nash News. You get 15% off their online pricing. I also would like to remind everybody that on October 5th, we are having the Firebird Kickoff Classic. Grand prize is $10,000. The tickets are $100 a piece. You're only going to sell 275 tickets. It is a reverse raffle. There will be a special dinner that night for all ticket holders and a guest. You can come in. They will draw all tickets. There's going to be different prizes along the way. They'll have sideboards. You could win a good little bit of money if you're able to get lucky enough to have the last ticket drawn as well as the sideboard, which we had a gentleman a couple years ago that actually did that, Mr. Clay Thornton. He took advantage of that, so it can be done. So we would invite you to find a Booster Club member, purchase one of your tickets, or you can contact the Southern Nash News directly, and you can buy a ticket through them for the Kickoff Classic. And Southern Nash News obviously is the sponsor for tonight's game in South Granville. We're happy to do that. It's the Tar River Network and Southern Nash News. We're also have a sponsor of All-Star Sports, which does all the printing. You can do screen printing, T-shirts, embroidery. They can print cups, umbrellas, any type of gift items you think of. They can do their printing and embroidery. And you can look that up online. It's All-Star Sports. It's run by Roger White. We appreciate his sponsorship and help for Southern Nash News as well. As Matt Foster rolls out and completes the pass to Quentin Cooley. He's breaking free. He's not going to be stopped as he takes it in for another touchdown. He actually held up to take that hit. It's like, I want you to hit me one time. Just see if you can ring my bell. Didn't happen. So that would be his fourth touchdown of the night, correct?
Fourth touchdown of the night.
Hey. The ball-headed, good-looking guy in the back, that would be me. Thanks, Rodney, our camera guy, Rodney, from the sidelines. I appreciate that. I would have dressed up if I'd known I was going to be on camera. Thanks a lot, man. Okay, you can take that off. Thank you. So Southern Nash with the score moves the PAT, which is good. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. I'm on TV shock. Hey, look, Mom, I'm on TV. So the score with 7 minutes and 26 seconds left in the third quarter. So your Southern Nash Firebirds 34, the South Granville Vikings 0. you know, it's got to be a letdown for the Vikings tonight because they really have moved the ball well on offense. It's been Southern's defense that's turned up some big plays. The Vikings themselves, they've made had some miscues and a few errors there that have cost them pretty dearly. But they can't be disappointed with their play. I mean, Southern Nash is a powerhouse 3A school, and everybody knows that. But you know, South Granville's got to be pleased with what they've been able to accomplish in their ball movement. Because I can tell you, some of the teams that they're going to face, if they move the ball that well, they're going to have a lot of victories. I know they're 1-2 right now, and it's not looking that good for a win tonight for them. But they should really feed off that and look forward to the rest of their conference season. They should fare pretty well.
And it's also, like you said, like moving the ball well. It's one of those cases where the score does not represent how well they have been playing. Just the mistakes on offense, you know, and the 2 turnovers kind of.
Of course, and Southern Nash is always going to pull that big play that just, you know, the spike through the heart.
Kind of like the punch in the mouth right off the gate.
Oh, we'll call it tonight because since we're talking about panic point and buying some tickets, we'll call it the stake through the heart. The old vampire reference there for Panic Point.
I like it.
Panic Point's got this laser show. You walk into this building, out in the woods, and there's a laser cover that's fogged below it. So when you walk in, you can't see anything below your chest, and then obviously there's people and creatures down underneath it. That one will bother you. But there again, go online, take advantage of the discount there, the 15% off. And get your Panic Points. Make sure you put in the code word Nash News, and you can get that 15% discount. So it seems like the front defensive line has been pretty solid. But obviously playing a little better in the second half, stopping some of that run, getting through a lot of loss of yardage tackles. So it seems like maybe they got wind of the motivational speech award. Of course, I'm sure they're not thrilled about having to go through the actual motivational speech itself.
But it does come with some praise.
Foster's has that ability. I mean, he's so well respected and loved by his players. That he knows how to handle, how to talk to them individually. They're like his sons, all of them. And it's really fun to be around. You need to watch them play, and you hear all the stories and stuff, but actually be around them and see how they react, not only to Coach Foster, but the rest of the coaches, their teammates. It's like a band of brothers. You know, they've come from several different places. You know, you're all over Southern Nash County, from Middlesex, Bailey, Spring Hope, even out towards Coopers and Sharpsburg. That way, you know, these kids that didn't come to school together, they all kind of mesh together, and they're just a big family, and it's really fun to watch. So once again, big stoppage at the front of the line by that Southern Nash frontline defense. Devontae Edmondson definitely in the backfield, puts the big hit on your big man, Alan Langley, in the middle there at 6'4", 352.
I think they ended up giving the forward progress on the 4th down to him, though, so they would get the first.
So it'll be 1st and 10, South Granville from their own 40. Low pitch, the ball's down, and it's going to be recovered by Southern Nash. That ball is recovered by, who fell on that? Was that Dalen Whitley?
I think it was.
Was it, or was it 44? Was it? I think it was Dalen Whitley with that recovery.
I think it was too.
So Dalen Whitley with a fumble recovery of the night. So Southern will take over once again in their territory. There again, there's that big play, the mistake that's made. They just got a first down, threatening to move into Southern Nash territory. and then the big miscue. And more than likely, Southern will make them pay. So Matt Foster tucks and keeps. He's still on his feet. He's taking the sideline. He does a spin move, and he steps out of bounds. It's going to be down about to the, it's like maybe the 20 where he steps out, maybe the 19. So that'll move the chains once again. It'll be 1st and 19. Be 1st and 10 from the, that's the 14. Once again, I apologize. It's really hard to see from this side. Those of you who see the camera angles know that there are no 10-yard markers on this side of the field. This is the outfield. I'm sure you can see off in the distance the infield for the baseball field. So Matt Foster with the carry once again. There's going to be a flag that comes in late. Foster's going to charge down. He is a little slow to get up.
I think this one's also going to be on Southern
Was that
Nash.
Foster? That's Hunter Thorne. No, that was Matt.
The flag was on Southern. Getting that and backing them back up. Up to 19.
So Foster with a quick pass out to Jackson. He's still on his feet, and he's going to score. Jackson Vick on the screen pass out into the flat, breaks some tackles and scores.
Looks like 26, Jackson Vick with the carry for another Firebird touchdown.
For 16 yards out.
But it looks like there is going to be, there's maybe a flag on the play. Are they calling that back?
I can't tell at this point. I do know there is a player down also for South Granville.
It's like we're having a cramp issue once again tonight with the humidity being what it is. That's going to be definitely a factor tonight. Good old Arthur Perry would have always said, I mentioned him earlier, he eats bananas. And stay away from those cramps, you got to eat bananas.
And that touchdown was taken away from that flag as well.
Wow.
Brought it back down to a 34-0.
So Foster from the shotgun, he's got 5 wideouts. Same play again. Jackson makes the catch, and he's going to be tripped up this time, stopped short. He will not score this time. He will have enough for the first down. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. He's going to pick up back to the original line of scrimmage with a gain of about 5. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 6. As Big Luke Watson steps up. Matt Foster still working from the shotgun. Quentin alongside. He's going to quick handoff to Quentin Cooley, who's going to charge up the middle. He's going to be close to first down yardage. It's going to come up about a yard shy. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Ball is spotted. Looks like about the 5 or 6 yard line there. On the 5. So 3rd and 1, same set. Foster in the shotgun, Quentin alongside. Foster's going to go for the pass this time. Pass is incomplete. Incomplete to Michael Parker. So that will bring up 4th and 1.
And you have to wonder, is Foster going to go for it?
I think everybody knows the answer to that question. It would be interesting here because Evan Barnes doesn't get a lot of opportunities to kick 3-point field goals. It would have been nice to see him come in and try to stick one through.
It would be, but he's always looking for.
It's going to be handed off to Quentin Cooley. He's going to be hit, but he's going to break the tackle, and he's going to take it into the end zone for what appears to be his 6th touchdown of the night.
Taking the lead to 40-0 before the point after.
So Evan Barnes will come in for the PAT. Another good snap. Ball's down, and it's up and through. Had one blocked earlier, but this was going to count. So with 2 minutes and 46 seconds left in the third quarter, Southern Nash extends its lead over the South Granville Vikings to the 41-0 margin. And just to go ahead and kind of let the cat out of the bag, they have met the margin of victory at this point. Let's see if they can hold that. Otherwise, if they can hold, if this score can hold, it looks like I may be headed down to midfield at the end of the game to hand out certain awards. So Southern Nash with that high kick, they're going to recover. They had 3 Firebirds run by the ball. Evan Barnes that is just amazing how high he can kick that kick. I can tell you, I have been watching college and pro teams, and they are unable to pull that kick off the way Evan Barnes pulls it off. To kick it that high and allow the special teams time to actually run by the football. While it still goes 10 yards. That is impressive. I really hope some college recruiters are looking at Evan Barnes and his ability, not only for the PATs, but his kickoff. You've seen him kick it into the end zone, and that really high archer is crazy.
It's a very unique talent to be.
It is, level. Man, and if the special teams, we have missed several opportunities this year in recovering that ball. So the quarterback is going to tuck and keep. On the option, he decides to hold on to it. He's going to pick up what looks to be maybe 4 or 5 yards on that carry. We'll call it 5. He's going to bring up 2nd down and 5. So South Granville, who has yet to score in this game, as we approach the 2-minute mark remaining for the third quarter. Once again, they're moving towards Southern Nash territory. The handoff up the middle. There again, this front line is really hitting hard. Hunter Thorne, Dalen Whitley. Luke Coble steps away from that. Also, number 71, Jatavius Battle. In on that tackle.
Just the run defense tonight for Southern has been outstanding again. I mean, you've had those kind of big plays where they've opened up and they've got like nice little chunks about 5 or 6 yards, but for the most point, Southern Nash has kind of locked down the run game. And
so
really
flags come out early. Looks like that's going to be against the offense. Probably they jumped. A little illegal motion maybe. So that 3rd and 2 is probably going to become 3rd and 7. And it will. So there again, a 3rd and 2 play, threatening to move into Southern Nash territory. A penalty gets them. They've kind of hurt themselves.
South Granville lining up.
Hold the ball's out again.
Again,
mishandling of the snap. But there again, the quarterback picks it up and has the field sense to, if nothing else, fall forward. And so his forward momentum is going to take him back to the previous line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 4th and 2, which is interesting here. Down 41-0 as the clock is ticking down past the 30-second mark in the third quarter. You pretty much don't have any choice here. You got to punt.
He said they're going to try their luck for it on 4th and 1 or 4th and short. Pitch to the left.
And that's going to be enough to get the first down. And he's still on his feet. He's breaking away. South Granville runs deep. They're going to score. South Granville has scored. Number 33 from South Granville on the big 4th and 1 play. Not only
it was Mika Wilkerson who had scored there.
Not only converts for the first down, but takes it all the way to the house. For South Granville, that puts their first score on the board. That was a 54-yard run there, I think?
Yep. About 54 yards, 55 yards.
So South Granville on for the PAT. Kicks down, it's up, and it's good. So with 3 seconds remaining in the third quarter, South Granville puts their first score of the night on the board. Brings your score to Southern Nash Firebirds 41, South Granville Vikings 7. And the awards of the night are in jeopardy now. We're falling back out of the spread there. So I know this is usually the point in the game where you're starting to see some substitutions, some resting of the starters, getting some of the reserves, some play time, some of the second string. So this could happen. Generally, Foster will respond accordingly. We'd also, while we're waiting for this kickoff to get underway, like to remind everybody that tomorrow is Fireman's Day in Middlesex. They're having their big reverse raffle. I don't know if they've got any tickets left or not, but either way, the food out there is going to be great. If Kevin Watson is involved with the cooking, I suggest you go be eating. Also, I think there is a pig picking cook-off in Spring Hope tomorrow at the Baptist Church. So if you're looking for somewhere to eat tomorrow, you got some choices. I'm going to lean a little bit more towards Big Kev. It's kind of got the Midas touch when it comes to that cooker. So we're going to get a squib kick. It hits Hunter Thorne right in the chest. He recovers that nicely. That was a hard kick.
It really was.
I'll give Hunter a lot of credit for knocking that down and be able to get on top of it. Quick reaction there. So Southern will take over 1st and 10 from their own 42. And we are still in the third quarter. We've not quite. We'll get what looks like one play will get off. There's 0.6 seconds left.
Who are you missing?
In the third quarter, seems to be an issue with personnel for the Firebirds. Looks like we're a player short as the play clock is winding down. And Southern Nash is going to have to call a timeout. I believe that may be their final timeout of the half. Didn't see who they charged that timeout to earlier. It looked like they signaled that it was for South Granville, but I'm overhearing the Southern Nash coaches to my left, and that may possibly have been their final timeout of the game.
I do agree. I think it was their final while they were still in the third.
So not sure who was missing. So Foster from the shotgun. This will end the third quarter. Quentin Cooley with the carry. Looks like he's going to pick up maybe 4 yards or so on the play. Just out past beyond the 45-yard line of Southern Nash.
At the end of the fourth quarter,
so that'll end your third quarter, with the Firebirds leading with a 41-7 margin over the South Granville Vikings. So once again, we'll run through our sponsors. Our first sponsor of the year was Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue. We've still got possibly a little something dealing with Smithfield's going on tonight. Bottoms Insurance in Rocky Mount was our sponsor for our Nash Central game. Oldham Motors and Pilot was the sponsor for our Bun game. This coming up week, the Bojangles will be sponsoring the GH Rose game when Southern Nash returns to Stanhope in Firebird Stadium a little later on in the season. Wilson Mold and Machine will be sponsoring. Barton College is one of our sponsors. Southern Bank, as well as Team Walters Realty, finishing out the season. As we go into the playoffs, there are some sponsorship. There is some availability there if you'd like to sponsor some playoff games and you're listening. You can see that we've had quite a few views. And
Foster runs it up.
Foster splits the middle.
Going.
He's still on his feet.
Taken down.
Big carry by Matt Foster as he breaks well into South Granville territory.
So taken down maybe around the 25.
Man, that's a great run to start the fourth quarter. And looks like they are going to bring it back as holding is called against the Firebirds. I think Matt had 5 rush attempts last week that none counted because of penalties. So Matt probably won't be really happy about having that long run brought back.
On their own 38. So the Nash lining up for a 2nd and 14.
Foster once again from the shotgun. Quinn's he's gonna be held up in the backfield. He's gonna break that tackle, but that's gonna be it.
He gets brought down by a swarm.
They're gonna blow the play dead.
Vikings.
As he is swarmed by the South Granville defense for a big loss on the play.
Backing them up to their own 32 now.
So the play was blown dead long before Quentin actually stopped. They are going to, that actually, in my opinion, was a gift to let him be all the way out to the 33-yard line. So a quick pass from Matt Foster out to Quentin, who's still on his feet. Or was that Jackson?
I couldn't tell.
That was Quentin. He'll get some of that yardage back. It's going to bring up 4th and looks like about 14.
Yep.
And Southern is going to go for it on 4th and 14, deep in their own territory. Pass out to Jackson Vick. He's still on his feet. He's splitting. He's still up. He's going to be stopped way short. He got out about to the 45-yard line. So Southern Nash will turn the ball over on downs to South Granville, who is going to take over 1st and 10 inside Southern Nash territory at the Southern Nash 45. So as the play clock starts to wind down, South Granville will get the play off. So going to be a option play. The quarterback's going to keep it. He's still on his feet. One of the Southern Nash defenders trips.
Scores.
They're going to score. South Granville has scored again here in the fourth quarter.
44 yards for the quarterback, K1 Bobbitt.
So touchdown South Granville will cut the score, the margin for the Firebirds to 41-13.
And Coach Foster will not be happy about that. Flag is down on the point after attempt.
There will be another penalty against the Firebirds. Looks like they're going to assess that on the kickoff. No, they're actually going to move that half the distance to the goal line for the PAT. So Southern is going to need to show that they can hold their composure as the kick is blocked and no good.
Blocked
So with
Smith.
So with 10 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the game, Southern Nash still with a comfortable lead at 41-13 over the Vikings. However, I'm sure Foster is not very happy about the play here in the last couple of minutes for the Firebirds. A couple of big plays have erupted, and South Granville has scored.
Pretty sure some of the players aren't happy with that, as it takes them out of that that margin for the celebration for tonight.
We're going to forget that right now. Maybe I shouldn't even brought that up. So, like I said, I don't want to say it to jinx it. I'll just say this is some awards that I kind of want to give away. So South Granville, for their third kickoff, here is a squib kick down the middle. Hit once again to Hunter Thorne, who will fall on and cover it. And Southern will take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line, 38-yard line.
38, yep.
So we'll see if you start to see some of the starting linemen to come back in. I know there was some subbing going on. He's gonna lead some of the backups in to handle their business. So it's a quick handoff to Jackson Vick. He's gonna cut. Oh, it's Quint Cooley.
He's still going.
He's scampered.
He's gonna score.
Yes, he's gonna split it.
No one's near him.
Wide open
Touchdown,
field.
Quentin Cooley.
Don't see any flags on the play. So Quentin, for the 7th time of the night, is going to carry the ball into the end zone as Southern reopens the margin of lead here. It's going to be 47, pending the PAT.
That run good for 62 yards.
So I'm not sure if we've got a tally on Quentin's total yardage, but it's got to be well over 200 for tonight, just in rushing alone. So there's going to be a penalty called there against South Granville. So Southern will get their chance to move it half the distance to the goal line.
Now you've seen his tally for Cooley's rushing yards on the game. Just alone on his rushing on the touchdown plays, he has over 160 yards on just the touchdown plays alone.
Wow. So the PAT's up through and good. That brings your score with 9 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the game. Southern Nash 48, South Granville 13.
A big answer from Southern from the two quick touchdowns that South Granville had.
So we'll see which kick Evan actually goes with this time. Looks like he's lined up for the squib kick. Will not be the deep kick. See if he can go for that high archer again. See if Southern Nash can get under it. And he does. This was going to carry a little deep. This is going to be fielded. It's going to be down. It looks like about the 26-yard line or so. So South Granville will take over 1st and 10. It looks like about the 26-yard line in their own territory.
They have it marked at the 28-yard line.
Okay. Still got, so we do have some of the second-string defensive players in. They're going to stop that play on a sweep around the end. So it looks like a gain of about 5 on the play. He's going to bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Vikings. So South Granville back under center, back up the middle. Great stop by the front defensive line there. Looks like he's going to get a gain maybe of a couple. Looks like it's going to bring up 3rd down and 3 for the Vikings as they move the ball out past the 35-yard line.
Be a 3rd and 3.
Back up under center. It's going to go with that option again. It's going to keep it again itself. A nice run up the middle. It's enough for 1st down. Going to come up short of the 50-yard line, so not quite into Southern Nash territory. But it will be good enough for another Viking 1st down on the keeper by the quarterback.
And it was DJ Johnson there on the tackle, making sure that run didn't go any further.
So 1st and 10, South Granville on their own 48 as they are threatening to enter Firebird territory once again. Another quarterback keeper, but he's going to be stopped this time and thrown for a loss as he is sacked by number 1, Michael Parker. So that will be a loss of 1 on the play with forward momentum. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 11. Another quarterback option. He's going to pitch it out this time. He's going to have a little room to run. He's going to break free.
And no one's going to touch him.
He's going to score. He's going to score standing up easily.
Bison McCall.
So another touchdown for the South Granville Vikings. They moved their score now to 19 pending the PAT. So the last kick was blocked. This was down, up, through, and good. So South Granville improved their score to 20 as they now trail the Firebirds by a score of 48-20. And that, Nick, is the most points that the Firebirds have given up in a single game so far this season.
Oh, it was definitely.
And there again, I give credit to South Granville. They've ran their offense. They hadn't tried any slow downs. They pretty much it's been that same set, the same motions. It's been doing what they do, and now it's paying off. They're breaking that big play. So very well coached. A lot of credit to the Vikings. So a 2A school, they should be very proud that they've been able to put 20 on the Firebirds.
Been able to put up a little bit of a fight.
So I'm sure we will see an onside kick here coming up, as there are 7 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the game and a 28-point margin with a score of 48-20. So the Nash, and it is the short squib kick. It's going to be fielded by Quentin Cooley, who's going to split up the middle. He's still on his feet. He's still on his
going.
feet.
He gets tackled.
As he carries the ball into the South Granville territory, down to the 40. So Southern will take over 1st and 10 from the South Granville 40 with just over 7 minutes remaining in the game.
For a second there, knowing the power he has and the quickness, I thought Cooley had a good chance to return that one there. Nevertheless, got him.
I'd like
Firebirds in good field position.
Yeah, I'd like to know what Quentin's fatigue factor is. I mean, if I had just got through running for over 200 yards, if I got running for 200 feet, if I got running 20 feet, I'd be tired. This is going to hand off to Jackson Vick. He's going to split that middle. He's still on his feet. As the pile finally brings him down, he actually ended up with 2 of the Vikings underneath him. Jackson is strong in his own right. He might not be the stocky build that Quentin Cooley is, but Jackson Vick is just an athlete. I've had the pleasure of being involved with Jackson in his sports adventures ever since he was probably about 6, 7 years old. And it has been a joy to watch Jackson and the way he's developed. He's got a huge heart and just a ton of athletic ability. So this is going to be handed off to Dalen Whitley up the middle, who is stuffed as he tries to sneak up midfield. They're going to give him the forward momentum. Looks like that's going to bring up 3rd down and about 4 to go. So a quick pitch out to Jason Bland, who's going to split and turn. He's still up.
Going on his feet.
He's still running. He's strong.
Gets taken down.
He's going to bring it down over. It's going to be a 1st down. It's going to be 1st and goal. Jason Bland with a great run. I guess Jason heard us talking about Jackson and Quentin and their leg strength and their ability. He's like, oh, don't forget about me.
The ball was on the 8 in the 1st and goal situation.
Jason Bland, another great kid. Him and his brother Isaiah, both on the team. Both kids, great families. Known their families for many years. This looks like it's going to be, I'm waiting for the signal here. The ball is carried by Jackson Vick. There is a flag on the play. I believe that was a touchdown, but there's a flag on play.
I think that was Zach Jones on the carry, actually. It was a touchdown, but it does not count.
So that's three scores tonight that have been called back for penalties. That's one of those keys that I'm sure Coach Foster will be discussing with his team. Yeah, they played the first half pretty clean, not a lot of penalties, but it seems to have started to mount up now and really at the wrong time. So another pitch off to Jackson. He's still on his feet.
He loses the ball.
Southern is going to recover, but a huge loss on the play. It's recovered by Hunter Thorne. It's going to be back. Yeah, it's going to be back at the
26.
All the way back to the 26-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 26.
That's something you do not hear very often.
So we're going to reverse Jason Bland, who brought him down that far. He's going to take it in. He's going to take it in the end zone. Jason Bland with the score on the reverse. So we're looking for a flag on this one. No flag this time. So Jason Bland with his first score of the night.
From 26 yards out.
So great run by Jason Bland on the reverse. Great play call there by the coaches. So that's going to bring Southern Nash's score to 54, pending on the PAT. Actually going to have a new kicker. It's not Evan Barnes this time. Oregon hold. The kick's up. It's through. And it is good.
Number 54,
So number 54,
Elijah Bass.
Okay. He's going to slip on and stick him one through the uprights for his first score of the night as Southern Nash expands its lead with 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the game. Southern Nash 55, South Granville Vikings 20. So a 35-point margin for the Firebirds. So I think I'm going to change up one of the awards for the game tonight. I was going to give out the recipient of the turnaround play, for the motivational speech. Doesn't seem like seems like the motivational speech is actually going to come post game as the Vikings cover the onside kick. I believe the motivational speech will come post game, so we're not even going to select a winner for that. I'm going to change it up, and we're going to recognize the what Quentin Cooley has done tonight. Definitely the player of the game is Quentin Cooley. So far with 6 touchdowns and well over 200 yards rushing. He has put on a show tonight. So player of the game will go to Quentin Cooley, the Southern Nash News player of the game. And he will be getting 2 tickets to Panic Point. So if I was Quentin, going to take those 2 tickets to Panic Point, they're going to split again. So another big run by South Granville by number 33. He is brought down.
That was Michael Wickerson.
He had that first big run on that first score of the night for them. But Quentin will receive 2 tickets to Panic Point. What he should do is take football in, and when he gets on the haunted trail, just take off running and just start blasting through everybody. He'll be the scary part. It could be like, oh crap, it's Quentin Cooley. It's the beast.
Someone's gonna jump out in front of him. He's gonna run right through him.
I'd like to see, I'd like to see that Quentin Cooley versus the Killer Clowns. at Panic Point. You know, who's going to take that? I'm like, Quentin, are you that bad, man? Can you take on the killer clowns of Panic Point? Either way, congratulations, Quentin Cooley. We'll see who you take with you. You got 2 tickets. If I was you, I'd take Jackson Vick with me, because Jackson Vick's performance, what he's been doing earlier in the season, the other games, they've learned that they better watch Jackson. And basically, that's opened it up for Quentin to kind of run it at will here. It's kind of the reverse. You know, last year Quentin did all that work and created all these opportunities for Zonovan, who capitalized on it. So now Quentin's kind of enjoying that same thing. So South Granville at midfield. It's going to be another run up the middle. They're going to bulldoze on out for a gain of about 4, maybe 5 on the play.
And as you mentioned, speaking of former Firebirds, Jonathan Knight, he had another outstanding game this past game against WCU. He had 18 carries, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns. As we have an injured Viking on the field. So as I said, Jonathan Knight had 2 outstanding games so far with the NC State Wolfpack, former Southern Nash Firebird.
So it's hard to tell. That could be some cramps. He's kind of coming off the field. Yeah, I believe he's suffering from some cramps there. You know, I mentioned it earlier, the humidity, the heat that's out here. They got to stay hydrated. They're going to cramp up.
I think that was Cameron Latta who was the one limping off.
So with 3 minutes and 25 seconds of counting left in the game, South Granville from the Southern Nash 45-yard line. And they are picked up in the backfield, so big tackle there by Devontae Edmondson as you're seeing the starting defense coming back into the game.
Be 3rd and 5 upcoming on Southern's own 45-yard line.
So a pitch back to number 33. He's going to be picked up and tackled pretty much at the line of scrimmage. They might give him a yard on that carry. Tackle looks like by Jason Bland. So that's going to bring up 4th down and 5 for the Vikings. And they're actually going to elect the punt. This may be the opportunity they pull off the fake punt. Trailing by 35.
Walker Warren in the back, set to receive the punt.
So there's a low snap. He does get the kick away. Isaiah's going to field it. He's still on his feet.
He's
going. Breaking around this way. He's got one guy behind him. Got some blocks. Got a horse collar tackle there. No flag on the play. He's brought down. There is a flag on the play. He's going to make it into South Granville territory. We'll see what the call is.
Had about 30 yards on the return. As we wait for the flag.
So they are actually going to pick up the flag and say no penalty. So the horse collar tackle.
The return. As we wait for the.
Isaiah Walker-Warren was called for early in the game on a horse collar tackle, much the same type play. So Southern Nash will take over 1st and 10 in South Granville territory on the South Granville 48 with 1 minute and 27 seconds left in the game. As the starting Southern Nash offense will now take a break for the remaining minute and a half of the game. Chasen Royal comes in to take over the quarterback duties. And it is handed off to
Ja Rivas Austin.
Ja Rivas Austin, that's right. He's going to be close to a first down. It's like it's going to be 2nd and about 1. Give him a gain of 9 on the play. Another quick pitch to Ja Rivas Austin. He's on his feet. I think he's going to have enough.
He loses the ball.
He loses the ball.
It's picked up by Henry.
So the fumble's going to be a scoop and run, and return for a touchdown by South Granville. As that ball
was stripped
coughed
right
up.
out of his hands.
I was wondering if they would say play had been blown dead because forward motion had been stopped, but they're going to give them the fumble and the score. So with the extra point down and through, brings your score to the South Granville Vikings 27, Southern Nash Firebirds 55.
As we mentioned earlier, this is the most points scored against the Firebirds so far this season. The past 3 games, they had held their opponents to about 14 points in each game.
So a lot of mental mistakes late in the game by the Firebirds have cost them some points. So that gives a little foundation to build on there, some things to work on in practice, some improvements that can be made. The team that should really be satisfied is South Granville. These guys have, like I said, they've worked hard the whole game. They should be proud of what they've been able to do so far. They're a smaller school, and you know the perennial powerhouse that Southern Nash is, and their ranking to be able to score 27 points, that should be basically a victory for South Granville. So congratulations to them on a game well played as they now prepare to kick off with 41 seconds remaining in the game. It will be a squib kick, and he gets through. It's actually going to roll out of bounds. So Southern Nash will take over.
Flag on the play. First and 10 Firebirds.
With 41 seconds to go in the game. So chase and roll and pick handoff to Ja Rivas Austin, and the ball is loose and fumbled again. South Granville will pick it up and be pushed out of bounds with 31 seconds left in the game, and South Granville will take back over.
Second fumble in under 30 seconds for Austin.
So South Granville takes over 1st and 10 from the Southern Nash 27-yard line. Excuse me, 29-yard line with 31.5 seconds left in the game. I'm sure this would be a big victory for the Vikings to be able to score one last time. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. He's going to be stopped. It's going to be a gain of about 5 on the play.
I think that's going to be the last play for here tonight.
Yeah, they're going to let the clock expire. So as the time clicks off, Southern Nash with its 4th win of the season goes to 4-0 as it defeats the South Granville Vikings by a final score of 55-27 as the teams line up to shake hands. Once again, thank you for our sponsors. Please check out Panic Point online. Make sure you go to Middlesex Fireman Day tomorrow. Get your tickets for the Firebird Kickoff Classic. And see you next week. Jalen Rose. J.H. Rose.